It's Sunday, March 16th, 2025, and we are streaming on the Bug Hunter channel. How's everybody doing? I am a little late, I know. It's for a good reason. I was writing a song, so that's all. I was like almost done writing the first draft of it, and I was like, they'll forgive me if I'm 15 minutes late. If it means new song, because if you leave songwriting when you have inspiration, it's tough. Yesterday I was sitting on the floor being like, I don't think I'm ever gonna write a song again. I really don't think I can do it. I think all of my creativity is gone. There's nothing left. I'm done writing songs. And then this morning I woke up and wrote a song I'm pretty happy with. So Mike is not loud enough. Well, tell Mike to speak up. I'll turn it up a little bit. Is that better? Check 1, 2. I'll yell till I'm yellow. So here's what we do. If you've never been to a live stream before, I am Bug from Bug Hunter. I am going to answer questions. I am going to drink water. I'm going to play songs and just in general chit chat. So what we normally do is start off by taking a little roll call, seeing who's here, and then you guys tell me what songs you want to hear. Preferably Bug Hunter songs. I guess our Jam Mechanic songs is all right too. Mars is here. All right. I see Eon. I see Jocelyn. I see Coin. I see Banana Ghost. I see Stumpy. We got Nerdbird. Y'all are sending messages at the exact rate I'm trying to scroll, so nothing's happening. Judas Eats Bagels. Kevin Lorimer's here. Does that mean Julie Lorimer's here? Yeah, sure is. Amearu, we got Chai, we got Onyx, Mackenzie Diaz, Cornfield Cryptid, Octopuppet. My dad is here, which means my mom is here, which is good. Who else we got? New Code. Tiamat Anchors. Inspired Drawa. Cool. If I go up even further, it's more of the same names that I just read. Knacker. Top Hat Cat. I think that's everybody. Cool. 60 people before I've even played a song. Amazing. Nobody is asking for songs. I see someone say toddler, someone say echoes, someone say hoomst, someone say aloha. Play the new song. No. And I got another echoes. Got the opera. I don't even know how to play that song. Let me fiddle with it and just see if I remember. The crumber feeder. Everybody does play for the leader. Something up a neighbor. Scripts in Spanish know me. I blow up the phantom, hate the opera. The curtains drop, the camera stop. Make them drag you off the stage. Hey, they've got the lights. So my advice, make them drag you off the stage. Hey. That's all I know. That song has potential for sure. It's not there yet. So I haven't played it since I played it for the episode of Jam Mechanics season 1 episode 8, so it's way back. Both, I actually don't know how to play both either. I haven't played that one since Jam Mechanics season 2 episode 2. We see some creature. Got a little bit of creature groundswell. Creature groundswell's happening. Is it happening? If I get one more creature, I'm doing it. Seems like an easy choice. What capo is this? If I remember how to play the song. Close enough. I am a creature of habit. My tastes are immovable. I order the usual and I already know what I want. Keep your menu, I know what I want. Because the options are endless, they're overwhelming at times. You just have too much to sell me, so many things to decide. You may mock me for opting for what is already mine, but what if my cookie cutter is one of a kind? I think there's too much to choose, and I have had it. Don't change me, creature of habit. Left foot, right foot, same way round. With this push, I put my foot down. Yeah, this time I want change. I'm gonna do something crazy. Actually, no, I'm not. So let me explain, I'm not that anxious to changes. I'm not afraid to adapt or think it's actually dangerous. It's just a preference to routine and familiar faces. I won't break down or die if I just happen to break it. I keep the cost to myself, I feel it's reeking of ego, and it's a fine line to walk, so I am threading that needle. It's just the whole human race. Ooh, I can take them or leave them, and I can say that I swear some of my best friends are people. Just feel so good when I planned it. Same time, same place. Creature of left foot, right foot, same way round. But with this push, I put my foot down. Yeah, this time I want change. I'm gonna do something crazy. Actually, no, I'm not gonna act like you asked me to act. Like a simple machine, checking task after task. I'm my own human being, and I happen to lack the need to be seen, chasing fad after fad. And I know there's a world full of wonders to see, with places to go and pancakes to eat. But I base what I know on what things bring me peace. My circadian soul likes the pace and the beat that maintains my breathing, blood flow and sleep, but won't lift my feet or break my routine. So left foot, right foot, same way round. That's another Coward verse villain, if people want more of my internal lore. Coward is a song where Bug Hunter is a superhero, and one of his villains is Creature of Left Foot. He's a villain in that universe. So every time I say that line, I always think about Creature of Left Foot. Creature of Left Foot. I love Creature of Left Foot. Such a cool guy. What's up, everybody? What do y'all want to talk about? It's Sunday. I am going on a trip tomorrow. I'm very excited. We also got Jam Mechanics dropping tomorrow. Yeah, buddy. Let's see. What can I show you? Let's put this up first. If you haven't seen our tour dates, these are our tour dates. This is rapidly approaching. We are just under a month away from kicking things off in Seattle before we move on to Seattle and then to Portland, San Francisco, Reno, Sacramento, and Vancouver. If Canada lets American citizens across the border by that time, who knows? We maybe don't deserve it, but the plan is that it will happen. We're also running March Madness right now, so if you want to see what's going on there, we are finishing up round 1 today. We're halfway through the month today, and so it's one more vote to figure out the top 16 teams. We got Deer McCracken, Hold Tough, Take It Back, Pine Cones, I need to set this thing to not be on a 10-second timer because I can't remember what each one is. You can read it while it's over there. Basically, I put everything into a bracket. People vote. We've had a couple of upsets. Toddler the Slingshot beating Fanfiction, which was last year's winner, was a little surprising, but it was close. The Hook getting on the map with Jam Mechanics, beating Pebbles, which is one of, for me, it's a quintessential Bug Hunter song. And the Hook just came in there and said, my turn. So we are doing March Madness. Y'all can read that. I'll answer some questions. Onyx says, what are you most excited for your tour? It's to see my friends. I haven't seen my friends in a long time. I do get to see Kyle this week, which I'm excited about. I'm going to California for a couple of days, and Kyle lives in California, so I'm going to see him outside of tour, but also Jesse and Kyle and Matt I'm very excited to see on the West Coast in April. It's gonna be very fun, so looking forward to that. I do get to keep in contact with Matt very often because we do Jam Mechanics together, and so we get to do like a Zoom call basically once a week, and so that is fun, and we just enjoy making that show so much, and it's great that we get that time to like keep in contact in between tours, because it would be a bummer to go 6 months without talking to Matt. I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited to play again. I remember being on stage in Edinburgh and being like, soak it in, you're not going to get to do this for another 6 months. So just enjoy this because you are living your dream. It's so fun, and you'll hit January and you'll be very sad because you haven't been on stage in a while playing for people, and so I'm very excited to do that again and play for people who are excited to hear my music. So. Top Hat Cat says, do you have any restaurant that you enjoyed last tour that you plan on revisiting? Yeah, every time I go to Seattle, I lived in Seattle for 8 years, so I'm excited to go to some of the old favorites. Stoneway Cafe has the best breakfast burritos in the world, so that's going to be once, if not twice, place to go while we're there. Portland has great food. Jesse always takes us to find the best food. There was a place in Portland, my dad might remember it. It was a biscuit place. I don't remember the name of it anymore. Pine Street? Is that ringing any bells? Pine Street Biscuit Co? Is that anything? That's what popped into my head. Very good. Trying to think if there's anywhere else. I'm going to Vancouver for the first time in my life, so I'm excited to have Canadian food there. We tried some food in Toronto last time me and my dad were there, and I think we went to like the Waffle House equivalent of like Canadian food, and so we'll see. Pine State Biscuits is a thing in Portland. Yeah, Pine State, that's what it was. Pine Street is in Seattle. Pine State is in Portland. Yeah. But yeah, there's lots. We find such good food on the tour, mostly due to Jesse and fan recommendations. So. Nave wants to know if St. Louis will be full band. I don't know yet. We haven't figured out what the lineup's going to be for the summer. I know on the West Coast, Kyle and Jesse will be at everything on the West Coast. So that first, I'll throw this back up. Get rid of image slideshow tour plan. So everything in green on the green note card. Jesse will be at all of that. Kyle should be at all of that except Vancouver because we have to drive all the way back up from basically where he lives for a show 3 days after our Sacramento show. And so it's just too much for him to take another 3 days off of work for one show and then fly home. So 21st Century Cinema said, Bug recommended Stoneway to me last year, and now I have to stop there every time I'm near Seattle. Yes, I will spread the good word. Stoneway Cafe, it's not just like... if you want like Bug Hunter lore, if you're interested in that kind of thing, Stoneway Cafe is not just a restaurant. It is where I played my very first open mic of my life. So there's a special sentimentality there as well for me, but they also just happen to have the best breakfast burritos this side of the Mississippi. And that side of the Mississippi. And they moved across the street, so it's that building. If you go there, it's not actually where I played, but they still have the mural up. They like moved the mural that was like behind the performance space, so I still enjoy going there. Biker Skylar wants to know, how many paninis do you eat per week? Paninis are pretty much my lunch go-to, and sometimes it's dinner. Because I do 2 different types. I do 3 different types. Here's my 3 types of paninis. I'm really excited about my paninis. First one, simple. It's like the Costco rotisserie chicken with pepper jack cheese and barbecue sauce and aioli. That's just like the basic. Make that panini. My second one, a little kind of off the beaten path, is I make a chicken, sliced deli chicken with a thin layer of pesto and a marinated artichoke that I cut up into slices. And so it's like pesto artichoke chicken. That's really good. My favorite is I take the Costco chicken nuggets and I'll make 4 chicken nuggets. And this takes a long time, but it's really worth it. I make 4 chicken nuggets in the oven, 20 minutes. And as soon as they're done, put pepper jack cheese on them, put them on bread, and then panini-nize the chicken nuggets. So I make a chicken nugget panini, and it's so good. It's just a fried chicken sandwich, but like there's something about the process of making 4 chicken nuggets that fit perfectly on my little slice of bread, and it's so good. I'm telling y'all. Get a panini maker. It's good stuff. That's exactly what I'm gonna have for lunch as soon as I'm done here. So if I cut it off early, you'll know why. Coin wants to know, is there any non-bug hunter things that you're looking forward to? I don't know what you're talking about. Coming up soon that you're excited. Anything non-bug hunter related coming up soon that you're excited for? I'm excited to go on my trip. I'm excited to. Is Jam Mechanics bug hunter related? Because can I be excited about Jam Mechanics? We have a Jam Mechanics dropping tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. It's a really good episode. We're killing it. Season 3. We're several episodes ahead of y'all, and so I have a little more foreknowledge of how we're doing. And there's some really fun stuff, some sad stuff, and some fun stuff. It's what you expect from Jam Mechanics. We tweak the formula. We don't reinvent it. As Greg says, we're absolutely incapable. So. Name of the next ep is that's published. It's Caramel Party. Yeah, you can go find that on our YouTube, the Jam Mechanics YouTube. The premiere is already up. It's like scheduled. You can't watch it, but like it's already up. So it is called Caramel Party. Paul says, love your show, Bug Hunter from the USA. Keep it coming. Love it. I can't tell if you're saying love your show from the USA or you're calling me Bug Hunter from the USA, as if there's like a Bug Hunter from Canada and a Bug Hunter from Finland, which would be cool. I can't tell you all how happy Matt and I are behind the scenes that we mentioned our little hype phrase, how we always say we're incapable, how that has caught on in the Jam Mechanics community. It makes us so happy. And it's funny because I actually, I caught us saying it in season 1 and nobody latched onto it then because we kind of said it offhand, like on podcasts, where I said something like, incapable of making a bad episode. And so it's been there from the start. We just didn't draw any attention to it. So Kevin says, obviously you and Matt are too talented and always hit it out of the park with Jam Mechanics. I refute that a little bit, but perhaps you need to raise the difficulty. 2 hours maybe. If you made it 2 hours, the last episode we did, I abandoned my song at 96 minutes, a little over halfway. So wouldn't work. I need the 3 hours. I pulled out something fun, but the thing I was playing was not working. You'll see in like 2 months probably. Yeah, 24 minutes to write a song. Woof. It's funny how now when I think about, like, I used to think it would take me a long time to write a song, but I was never really timing it. And now when I think about, like, I wrote a song this morning before I hopped on the live stream, and now I'm thinking, like, gosh, you know what? I could have done this in the time span for a Jam Mechanics. Even without the pressure, I could still kind of get things done. So, and I really only finished the song I was writing this morning because I was like, oh, this is a pretty decent little thing I have here, but I'm leaving for a week. So if I don't finish it now, I'm literally going to forget it exists. So I finished it so that I could just make sure it didn't get lost. Where am I going? California. You said last time that you started planning a European tour. I actually plan vacation days in October, are ready to go and bring friends, so I really hope it happens. Yes, right now it's looking like the UK and Ireland dates will be between October 25th and Halloween, in that range. That's what it's looking like. We haven't confirmed anything, but we have, of like the 6 pieces we need, we have 5 of them like lined up. And once you get that 6th one, then you lock everything in. So we should be going to the UK, trying to do London, trying to do Manchester, trying to do Glasgow this time. We have several, Glasgow's going to happen. We have like 3 great options in Glasgow. Yeah, so, and that will probably be the Halloween show. And then we're going to try and do a few more in Europe as well, hopefully an Amsterdam or Rotterdam show that doesn't sell out on the first day. And then we do have options in either Berlin or Frankfurt this time, and we're not going to do both because last year we split the party a little too much, which is sometimes what happens when you're like, okay, we went to this city. Same thing happened in Florida where we did 2 shows in Florida, and both shows were about half the size of a normal show. And if we had just done 1 show, it probably would have been about the same size. And that's what happened in Germany. We went 2 years ago and we got like 90 people to come. And then we did 2 shows in Germany and we got like 45 people to come and 50 people to come to like both of them. And so, we're probably just going to do 1 either in Frankfurt or in Berlin, depending on where else we find. There's 2 paths that we have. There's one that's like goes through like Austria, and there's one that goes through like Copenhagen, and depending on kind of what we find, it'll be whichever one's closer to that. So, but I'm planning it now. I normally wait till July to plan the October tour, and I'm like, you know what, my spreadsheets, I'm gonna be able to do, I can send all the emails in like 30 minutes. I'll just do it now. It's fine. I'll just plan ahead. Efficiency. Why don't I play a song? I have a song that I would like to play for y'all, foreshadowed by my little note down here. Some people may not know it. It is a song about writer's block, which, as I was talking about earlier, I had last night and didn't have it this morning. It's old, but also new. And I hope, if you never heard it, you like it. I'm feeling colorless, my stubbornness has always blocked my course, when all I needed was a little shove to help me out the door. Oh, all the greens and blues and happy hues are right behind the blinds that I've closed. The Vaseline sunlight for to creep below the cracks and to remind me there's a window and that window has a latch. But I am holding up a stone, it might be faster just to close my eyes and throw. And I'm swallowing gum lodged in my throat. Spit out my words or damn it, I'll choke. I'm swallowing gum. I feel like writing is like fighting, but your rival is yourself. Replace the uppercuts with paper cuts, cause both will hurt like hell. They both need someone in your corner that'll tell you, you got this in the bag. Handle and the hooks and dodge the blocks, you have to mix it up. Keep them on their toes where no one knows what you were thinking of. When the audience is sure you're gonna zig, that's when you gotta punch them in the head. And I'm swallowing gum lodged in my throat. Spit out my words or damn it, I'll choke. I'm swallowing gum. And I'm not exactly Mozart, but it matters where you look I may not know where all the notes are, but his lyrics weren't as good, so I'll compose myself and hope it helps to write for nothing other than for fun. And I'm swallowing gum lodged in my throat, spit out my words or damn it, I'll choke. I'm swallowing gum, and I'm swallowing gum lodged in my trachea. Who would have thought it'd take that much to wake me up? The way it's stuck has shaken up my heart. And I'm swallowing gum lodged in my throat, spit out my words or damn it, I'll choke. I'm swallowing gum, I'm swallowing gum. Shake all the sound out of that one. Cool. That's a song called Swallowing Gum. The original version of it was off an album called Surge of Confidence, which I released before Bug Hunter was Bug Hunter. You can still find it on my Bandcamp and on Spotify under just the name Bug. If you have exhausted my music enough to be at a live stream on a Sunday afternoon, you might find something that you like in it. You'll find the old version of Headlights, which you might know from Bigger Than Myself. And yeah, so I rewrote that one. So the version that is recorded and released about 10 years ago is a little bit different. I really want to, for the 10-year anniversary, which is in November, perhaps release just like a small little set of rewritten Surge of Confidence songs just to note the occasion. So that is a goal that I have in my head, that I'd like to do, and Swallowing Gum would be like the 4 leader of those. So Mars, you're so patient. Let's do a little more cozy Q&A. If anybody wants to know anything about jam mechanics, about music, songwriting, touring, board games. Oh man, I'll tell you what. So I've been working on this board game for a long time. It's called Bug Out. And I fully implemented it in Tabletop Simulator, which if you want to play test it, you absolutely can. It's fully up for testing, and Tabletop Simulator is actually half off right now, and it's free. If you come into our Discord, there's a link to get the workshop download for the game. Anyways, I haven't worked on it for a very long time because 18 months ago, maybe 2 years ago, they dropped support for the software that lets you make changes, and then I couldn't get the replacement software to work. I would hit save and nothing would happen. It wouldn't upload. I would make a change and it would hit save, and then I couldn't test it. It just would not work. And it would work 10% of the time. It would work sometimes, and I reached out to the creator of the module and was like, hey, do you know why this isn't working? And it was just kind of a DIY project that he did. There's no formal support. And so I just was there's no point in sitting down and being oh, I'm going to spend 3 hours working on this game, because I couldn't get it to work. And I just found a new thing that was made in the time since someone has made a new module that lets me edit, and so I can potentially get back on the train. So it's very fun. Frogger wants to know, you probably get this question a lot, but what bands or artists do you listen to? I grew up listening to My Chemical Romance and Bayside and Rise Against and The Killers and Green Day. I've been listening a little bit to Fall Out Boy this week, and I have probably not given them enough credit for their influence on my songwriting, as when people ask me what are your influences, and I hardly ever say them, but I was listening to their album, Sugar We're Going Down, Dance Dance, A Little Less 16 Candles, and I was like, uh-oh, these guys are actually pretty influential. So But these days, I don't listen to a lot of music, I'll be honest. Most of who I listen to are friends. I listen to a lot of Galloway. I listen to a lot of The Narcissist Cookbook. I listen to a lot of Hotel Mira. Grand Commander. I do a lot of my ear time is spent. Ear time is what I call time where my ears are being used, is spent on my music or jam mechanics or editing jam mechanics. So like if I'm doing chores around the house or I'm driving somewhere, I'll normally be listening to like the new edit of jam mechanics to make sure that, because if I change anything, I got to make sure that I also didn't accidentally like slip and like cut half the episode, which I've done before. I have fully like, I'm going to change I'm going to take like these 4 seconds out, and then I bounced it and I sent it to Matt, and he was like, you somehow took the last 7 minutes of the podcast and put them in the middle of the podcast. And also then after that, my audio just keeps looping from the beginning every like 10 seconds. I was like, I don't know how I did that, but I certainly did. So every time I make a change, I have to listen to the whole podcast episode again. So I spend a lot of time doing that. But I love it. I really, honestly, I love editing an episode of Jam Mechanics almost as much as I love writing and finishing a song. I'll say I like it just as much. Finishing an episode of Jam Mechanics and then sending it off to Matt and Deep Blue Ink and my parents, being like, here's a new episode, feels as good to me as writing a song and sending it for like feedback to the core group. So it's so fun. Kevin wants to know how much longer until you think you and Matt will actually get to know each other. I learn new things about Matt every episode. I never know what Matt's gonna say, so. If Matt gets Reese's at shows, what candy would you ideally receive? I don't love candy, I say, as I sit here with my little peanut butter cup that has been taunting me this entire show because I grabbed it right before I started streaming, and I was like, I can't eat on stream because any time that I spend eating, like, there's no background thing that y'all can focus on. It would just be me eating my little peanut butter cup. And but I'm only eating this because my wife bought them, and if it's in the house, I have to go find it. She has a secret stash, and she's not here today, so I don't love candy. I love baked goods. I love brownies and cookies and etc. Wesley says, I got the opportunity to meet you at the Nashville show last year. Very excited to see you this summer as well. I'm excited to see you again too. That's something that if you don't know, if you've maybe only been like, if your concert experience is like, oh yeah, I've been to a concert, I've seen like 21 Pilots, and I've seen like, I went to the Eras tour, and you've never been to a small band concert, you may not know this. We get people very surprised by this a lot. We can stay and meet everybody. Like some of these shows are very, very small. Some of them are large. You go to Boston, it's going to be a larger show, but we'll still stay and meet everybody. If you're coming to Reno, it's going to be me, Matt, in the band, and 30 of our closest friends, right? Like it's a very small kind of like, we do small shows in small cities because it also lets us have very kind of like small, intimate, personal shows. Or sometimes I'll get in there, like in Belfast last year, there was 32 people. And I wrote Not Like That as my first song and like Dear McCracken as my last song. And then the rest of my set list was blank. And I just let people just yell out songs. I don't do things like that in like New York or Seattle because there's too many people. And everybody would just yell different songs and it wouldn't work. But it's small rooms. We meet people. We banter with the audience. So. Yeah, Judas Eats Bagel says the Oklahoma concert was so awesome. One of the best concert experiences I've ever had. Yeah, there was 130 people at that show, and if you were there, we stayed and talked to everybody. We were there until everybody was gone. Even the Fly. That was buzzing around my head all night. Soccer Bet says small rooms turn the concert into improv games is what I hear. Yes, I yes and everybody's song suggestion. They say play Shocking Plot Twist, and I say yes, and I will play that. Onyx asks, are there any musicals you like, or are musicals something you'd be interested in? Yeah, I like musicals. I'm not big into musicals, but I like them. When me and Ladybug went to London last October, we went and saw a play called Operation Mincemeat, which I could not recommend more. So fun, so good. They had a song in there that, you know, I'm a songwriter, and so I view music through the lens of lyrics and songwriting, and like Ladybug and I were talking in the kitchen the other day, and she had a Taylor Swift song playing, and we were talking, and then all of a sudden I heard something that Taylor Swift said, and I was like, that's a good line. I said to my wife's phone, I was like, oh, that's a really good line. And my wife was like, I've never listened to a song and been like, oh, that's a good line. I just listened to it. And I was like, that's all that I do when I listen to music. We went to see this show called Operation Mincemeat, and as soon as this song started, I realized what the song was going to do and what it was going to be, and I just started bawling, and I cried for like the entirety of I realized as soon as the first line, I was like, oh God, what a great idea. And I already knew what the song was going to be, and I started crying. And then when it did what I knew it was going to do, I cried even harder. And even if I think about it, I cry. So it's great. It's a great show. And I've seen the Matilda musical with music by Tim Minchin is also great. Yeah. 21st Century Cinema says, are you still considering releasing a song before tour starts? I'm really trying. Yes, I am really trying to do that. I am meeting with Jesse in an hour to chat a little bit about that, to see if I can get him set up before I go to California for a week. So, thank you, Stumpy. Vessel asks, would you ever release a tutorial for how to play any of your songs? I haven't released any tutorials because my songs aren't very difficult or tricky to play. I have published every chord chart of every song. If it wasn't already published by a fan on Ultimate Guitar, I have gone up and put the chords for every song that's been released. So you can go and play, and it's mostly self-explanatory. You know, the best way to start with chord things, if you can't figure out the strumming, just strum exactly the chord on on the syllable where like it's above, right? You know, you don't have to do the whole thing, because if you just want to start, you know, you could do something like Swallowing Gum. You'd be like, I'm feeling colorless, my stubbornness has always blocked my course, when all I needed was a little shove to help me out the door, while the greens and blues and happy hues are right behind the blinds that I have closed. Right, that is a totally legitimate way to learn how to play a song, whereas I would play it like, I'm feeling colorless, my stubbornness has always blocked my course, when all I needed was a little shove to help me out the door, while the greens and blues and happy hues are right behind the blinds that I have closed. If that's too complicated for you, just single strum. Teach you how to switch the chords, you know, give you a little bit more time to do it. Yeah. UBM, how would you feel about being approached for a song commission for like a musical or film soundtrack, but the song needs to have a specific theme and purpose? Yeah, that sounds what I do already. A lot of my songs have very specific themes and purposes. This morning I was writing a song where I was like, I need this song to very specifically be about this thing. and I'm going to take it from this angle and try this. And that's pretty normal in my world. I think when I first started writing, that would have been much more difficult. But I used to write for a company called Songfinch. There was like freelance, like Uber for songwriters, where you'd like write in and you'd be like, oh, I want to buy a song, a custom song for my friend for her birthday. Here's all the details about her. And then they would assign it to a songwriter. And sometimes I would get a brief and I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'll write a song about that. And I did like 3 or 4 of those. And then Dear McCracken kind of took off to the point where I could make more money writing songs for myself, and so I didn't really have time for commissions. But some songs came out of that, like the original Boogie Pete was the melody and chords of one of those songs that I did. It was like about a girl and her friend, and she was like really cool, and it was like, yeah, find her at the bar, she doesn't find her at the bar, she doesn't want to meet you, keep your fancy cocktails, bring her beer and pizza. And so I wrote that song for that commission, and then you're allowed to, the only thing they get is the master recording. You can reuse lyrics or melodies, whatever you want. And so then I sat down and was like, I'm going to write a song about my brother's best friend, whose name is Pete, and he's an asshole. And I wrote that. I wrote Boogie Pete, and then it ended up being a Bug Hunter song. So somebody out there, before Bug Hunter got any attention, has some old copies of custom songs that I wrote. There's probably like 4 or 5 floating around, and I have no idea if they've checked in and seen what I've been doing the last like 7 years. But how's Pete doing now? He's good. I've been trying to get him out to come out to a show in Chicago for years now, and he's got a baby, so he's busy. And he has a very good sense of humor about that song. Okay, I'm going to do one more song because I have a chicken nugget panini with my name on it downstairs that I'm going to panini-nize. What do y'all want to hear for last song? And it'll be the last song for maybe 2 weeks because I'm going to be out of town. I'm seeing some hoops. I'm seeing some jam mechanics. Seeing some, I don't even know. Have it in my head. It's a pretty recent Jam Mechanic spoiler, so season 3 episode 1. I see Coward, I see a handful of Hoomps, Swallowing Gum Again, Braggin, Brave, Coward, it's a decent amount of Coward. Francesca, I see some Not Your Fault Kid, 2 Not Your Fault Kids, 3 Not Your Fault Kids. Next person to say either Not Your Fault Kid or Coward gets it. Okay, that's Coward. This song is about the arch nemesis of the creature of Left Foot. Let's see if I can remember how to play it. My honey thinks I'm a coward. My darling thinks I'm a dud. My sweetheart swears I'm a bit too meek. My lover doubts I'm a fighter. My sugar is sure I am neither. My baby doll sprinkle bud thinks I'm weak. So you say to me, why can't you be more like Bug Hunter, fighting petty thieves behind the Wendy's, thwarting robberies, defending all the cowards too afraid to be Bug Hunter, a vigilante and a fighter, pulling grannies out of fires. Though his spandex is too tight, we love Bug Hunter. You can run, you can hide, can you change my mind? My honey thinks I'm a coward, that I have no show. But you say no, I'll give you some credit. You do seem athletic when you run, jump, leap from the scene and exit. You might be prophetic, at least telepathetic. So I'm thinking of a hero, no need to guess it. It might sting, but let it I be yours if you be a bit more like Bug Hunter. When the skateboard park collapsed, guess who dressed up in his mask with 20 grannies on his back? That's right, Bug Hunter. Whereas you were not around, you disappeared when it went down. I found your clothes thrown on the ground. Why were you naked? Forget it. You can run, you can hide, can you change? My mind's made up. You can run, you can hide, can you change? My mind made up. But do you wonder why there's so much spandex in my laundry when you wash it? Please stop putting it in the dryer. And when I missed your birthday, did you catch the news that night? Cause if you'd watched it, you know the lack of grannies dying on your birthday. And do you ever wonder why the honeybee kidnaps you every weekend, forcing me, I mean Bug Hunter, to come save you? And you never say thank you or see us in the same room. My honey thinks I'm a coward, eyes closed and all set to judge. I can run, I can hide, I can't change, your mind's made up. So go ahead and call me a coward. The truth hurts, a lie never does. I'd rather fight crime than your mind when your mind's made up. Yeah, that's a fun song to sing because it kind of forces rooms to just yell, we love Bug Hunter at me. So I love that. That always feels pretty good. Amazing. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming to my Sunday stream. I can answer a few more questions before I go, but just know that everything you ask me keeps me another minute away from my chicken nugget panini. So just keep that in mind when you ask me questions. Other than that, we have a tour coming up. You can get tickets on bughunterbug.com. You should buy your tickets now, because you know when you're at the end of the tour and you're like, oh, these guys ran out of merch. It's because we didn't know how much merch to buy, because not everybody bought tickets yet, and we do our best to project it. But if you all buy tickets ahead of time, then we know how many people are going to be there. We'll have merch for everybody. Jam Mechanics drops tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time. I moved it back a little bit because I am flying to California in the morning, and so that will be right when my flight from Dallas to California takes off, and so hopefully I should be able to get Wi-Fi on the plane to be able to be at the live premiere. You can go to the Jam Mechanics YouTube channel to bookmark that and hit the little bell. I really want to eat this peanut butter cup so badly, but I can make it one more minute. So Jam Mechanics drops tomorrow. I'm very excited for y'all to hear that. The episode is called Caramel Party. I'm very excited for y'all to hear it. We're going to be on tour here pretty soon. You can join our Discord. Go vote in March Madness. Today's vote is between Platonic Best Friend and Be Glad I Love You. If you want the postcard of the day, I don't know if it's sold yet, but it is from Swallowing Gum. It's the chorus of Swallowing Gum, which you can almost see if you do that. Perfect. Perfectly in view. It's of course Swallowing Gum. Only one person gets it. It could be you. And that helps support me do what I'm doing and making music and writing new songs like I did this morning. So, Almayaru says, do you think you'll release Serendipity Bop before Friend of My 30s? Probably. And the reason is that Serendipity Bop was already written. We had a full song before we made it into the theme song. I just been sitting on it for a couple years because I'm just a little stinker like that. I didn't have a place for it. And then I was like, oh, what about season 3 of Jam Mechanics theme song? And so, anyways, yeah. Okay, that's going to be it. I'm going to go have a chicken nugget panini. I will see y'all in 2 weeks when I come back from my trip. And in the meantime, you are all goobers and you should go to bed.